Las Vegas, Nevada. It's Week 12 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Denver Broncos.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Las Vegas, Nevada. The atmosphere here, electric. No matter the venue, the home folks love their silver and black. They are fired up as their Raiders get set to face off with the Denver Broncos. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talked about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
After seeing what he did last week, throwing 4 touchdown passes, I had to go to my thesaurus to try and come up with some great words for what he did. I'm still coming up blank. He was scintillating.
I'm going simple. I don't have your thesaurus. I'm going dynamite. He was dynamite.
I'll take it.
It's Young off play action. And this one is incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
But normally you see 3 tight ends in a formation, you have to think to yourself, this has got to be a run. And I know as a safety, when I saw that, I took an extra step or 2 towards the line of scrimmage. Instead, they threw the ball, and he found one of those tight ends for a very nice pickup.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 47. They go play action. Young. Wide open receiver complete. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. The numbers for him from a week ago. 3 catches, 117 yards, and a touchdown.
Having a nice season. Number 8 in the league in receiving yards. And not just making his team happy, but anyone who's picked him in fantasy football.
Inside the 20 before he's brought down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Our game not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. 1st and 10 at the 19. On play action, Young. He'll buy some time, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down. Getting into the act on the opening drive here with a sack, and remember, they had 5 last week.
And they saw that on film, and that meant that they had to get together offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach, offensive line coach, receivers coach, and say, how do we beat this pressure? Because everyone has to win.
Touchdown! And that's caught at the 2. Kyle Pitts, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Raiders drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. That time a 6-play drive. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. So now here are the Broncos for their first drive of the game. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
And the Raiders have got him. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack.
The competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week. We just saw their first one of this game.
A lot of ground to cover. 2nd and 22. Now back to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's going to lose yardage here back at the 8. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and very long. So, Charles, first drive here, little safe completion underneath. Maybe get some rhythm, get your feet wet, so to speak.
I agree, and I like it because it's a lot like a basketball game when you're getting started and you pass the ball around so everyone touches it early and gets involved in the game. In this case, it's not just dumping it to a back and he's able to run with the ball, but you get your offensive linemen involved because they get to get out and run and hit people in the open field. Everyone getting their feet wet early.
The Broncos send out their punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And taken at the 46. Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. Now, they entered play on a 2-game win streak, and then they've got the open date on their schedule next week. So this is a group that's really looking to hit the break on a high note.
And this will obviously be a tough game for them. But go ahead and play this out with me, partner. If they win here and make it 3 in a row, they get to heal up after that. You got to think that's an ideal setup and a worthy goal to play for in this one.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Young will set to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. That catch good for only a couple.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting.
And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Kyle Pitts with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Raiders are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead.
There's not much that's perfect in football, but that's about as close to it as you're going to get. Score, force a punt, score again.
And both drives were impressive. The opening drive was, that last one was. Now on the other side, though, what's your psyche? You're really behind the 8 ball.
You got to make sure you just hold in there. Survive the early storm. Relax a little bit and try and get back to your game plan. It's way too early for panic.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Well, this defense for the Raiders, they were very good last week in the win over New Orleans.
But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
2nd and 9 now. He finds his man, complete. That's Baker. And he'll be pulled down as a penalty flag will rein in as well, and that would appear to be a face mask. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're marching up another 15 against your squad.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. He's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Nothing the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. And he'll be tackled right on the midfield logo. It's going to be a gain of 6 on the keeper, but it leads to a 3rd down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay up.
And down he goes, brought down a Raiders sack. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah in there to get him sack number 14 for him on the year.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
Taken in at the 11. And he's out right at the 25. A nice return that time of about 14 yards. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Young. Rolling to his right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And got his man complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. A great effort there with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. And we didn't even get a chance to settle in for that drive. A quick strike of 75 yards, and they find the end zone.
Don't you get the sense that film study was behind this one, that they saw something that they thought they could take advantage of? The key is calling it in the right situation, knowing when it exists to go to it. They did exactly that. They've got to feel really good about what they did in advance of this game.
Just looking down at the sideline now, their defense is like, man, can you have strung that out just a few plays? Give us a break. Back out there.
Hey, man, give that water break and get on out there and play.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. There will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
He's got Gore. And he's got Roan. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Broncos. A big play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Broncos get a bit closer. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead will be cut down to 14. So a 75-yard scoring drive on just 3 plays. And it ends with a Denver touchdown. Taking it about the 1. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. So here are the Raiders now to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. Young off the play fake. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. This one into the hands of Burton. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
The Broncos on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. The Broncos on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there. And now 4th down. The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And it's safe to say he has been getting his money's worth in this one.
I would agree with that totally. Being able to go back and launch it and air it out. And let's face it, it's not just him stepping back and flinging it, though. You've got to have someone who can go get it. And that's important for any offense. Someone who can stretch the field, or as they like to say, take the top off of a zone defense. Open things up, because then you can come back and throw underneath and gain some pretty good chunks of yardage as well.
He's ripped the top off of whatever defense they've been playing. A good start to the drive here as that's caught out on the left side. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. A big play there for the Raiders. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. He and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
And you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And they move this all the way down to the 9.
Well, this is a defense that's definitely on their heels now because they gave up the running play for good yardage one play ago. Now the pass here sets this offense up first and goal. They're going to have to dig in strong now because they've been in retreat so far in this drive. This offense on the march.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on first and goal. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Kyle Pitts on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down because already we're seeing him run past, over, through guys in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort. So maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. They'll set up to throw. He's going to loft it deep right sideline. And incomplete on the deep ball.
I may be an analyst, but I'm also a fan. I love it when people take the big shots downfield, but he was under a lot of duress, and I think that forced the incompletion downfield. Didn't have a real good chance to find his target.
This is taken at the 23. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. They've got the lead. He's a big reason why. Looking sharp so far.
And as we travel around the league, we see quarterbacks get it done in a variety of ways. But today's NFL does tell us one thing. If that guy doesn't...
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Kyle Pitts on his way to a historic performance. 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Raiders are able to widen their lead here in this first half.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there. Unable to do so, that makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the round is on here in this first half. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. 1-play drive and into the end zone for 6. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And how does he rally the troops, so to speak? He's played well, but they're down big on the scoreboard. How does he get his guys going?
To make sure they understand it's not a me game, it's a team game. Everyone has to come together. Everyone has to up the level of play a little bit, including himself, and find a way to make some plays in order to give them a little bit of a spark and rally the team.
We'll see if they can indeed rally down big on the scoreboard right now. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll be upended here after a pickup of 3, getting it out to the 25. No, I'm not mad at you for skipping halftime, but can I just have a sip of water real quick? Please, thank you. All right, let's go. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
He'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. They'll come out throwing here on first down. He's got Burton here. And he lost the football. And the Raiders have recovered. And they came out of the locker trailing. Not a good... And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing? So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Hands it off out of the gun. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. They're going to look to throw. And the Raiders have got him. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. What a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. This is fielded at the 27. Able to slither by. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. A pretty good return, all things considered, but holding.
I agree with you totally. It's actually a return that they were going to be very proud of. But when you end up holding and bringing it back, now your offense has to start a little bit deeper in their own territory.
Sliding out of the pocket. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Not the first down play they wanted by any stretch of the imagination. An absolutely huge loss on the sack. After the sack on first down, Young, he sets to fire deep. A leap, and he's got it. He got it. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. It's a big play there for Vegas. His tremendous season passing the football, it continues, Charles. That last throw puts him over 4,000 yards now on the year.
And he's still got the rest of November and all of December still to play. So to me, 5,000 yards, very much in play.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. The play fake. Now Young. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And this will be a gain of 6 when it's all said and done. Down to the 15 from the 21.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And the Raiders are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
Again, it's Young, and that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Kyle Pitts there to make the grab, and the silver and black continue to roll.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury, and it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run. He finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Point after, right down the middle, and the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. And the football going back over to the Denver Broncos. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now a handoff here to his running back. He'll only get a couple up to about the 30. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we've played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Broncos on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. And down he goes, brought down a Raider sack. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. The Broncos send out their punter now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Taken from just outside the 30. It's a 45-yard punt and 8 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number.
And it looked like he got the feet down, did he? Yes, it's a catch. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. A great play there. His second touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And the Raiders are closing in on a third straight win as they widen the gap further here in the fourth quarter. The call is to go for one and kick the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the fourth quarter. This would be their third straight defeat. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He finds his man, complete. It's Baker. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Baker. He had a great move, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. Looking to throw. It's complete. It's goal. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple of seconds mulling over what the penalty
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Extra point right down the middle as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. And right about now, heck, they might be wishing they did not have a bye week coming up next week. It appears they're going to go into that week off in high spirits as they've got this one well in hand. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set him back on second.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be third down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. And that's caught inside the 35. A big play there for the Raiders. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them. And now it's been a real issue for him during this game.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. They give those 2 yards right back, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Partner, I have to tell you, just one word keeps coming to mind from watching them this afternoon, and that's impressive. They have been impressive from the opening kickoff, and they haven't let up here even in...
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, there's just about a minute left in this game, and they're still taking it to the end zone, and you know they could have taken a knee there, but they decided to play this one all the way out, and I think their philosophy is, we're going to give you everything we've got. If we just go ahead and take a knee now, we're actually showing you disrespect that way, like taking pity on you. They're not about to do that to their opponent.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Denver's offense ready to go again. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left because
pressure comes and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up second. And you could say that is just another cherry on top for this defense and that entire team. But really, this defense has sparked what's been an impressive effort here in this one.
And I notice you use the word sparked because you're not seeing that on the other side of the ball, are you? The offense right now, the spark has left their game, and it's been because of what you described, that defensive pressure.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw here. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A good return there, 17 yards. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit 000. Young here to throw. They'll roll him out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome. But a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.